The people think they're coming for one kind of show. They may be surprised by the other shows that are built into it.
I would say that there is no typical structure, for better or worse.
It's a little wild, but what you really need is other characters that ground us in present-day reality and present-day emotions. And I would say that is the biggest pursuit. For the first season, we're meeting Laurel. Laurel is our point of view. She's the one we watch as she goes through her day. And that's played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Laurel's here.
Oh, thank goodness.
And we were attracted to Mary because she is beautiful, but she also seems very approachable.
Hi, I'm Laurel. You're all meeting with me today.
This was someone with so much range, and what you really need to do in going in TV is you need to find someone who can work these hard schedules, someone who can do comedy and drama, and someone you want to work with.
Cut, print.
It is that rare performer who is so incredibly accessible as just a person, and she's very deft in the way that she takes on her roles. And she is all about the work, and she revels in the work. And so it is sort of that kind of dream to have for somebody in a part like this.
No, well, he'll do what he says. Well, when I got the script and I knew it was from the Kings, first and foremost, who I was a huge fan of, and knew that they had been able to do such an incredible job with The Good Wife for so many years. So right off the bat, it was exciting to get a script from them. And when I read it, I was so flabbergasted by the balls that it had, just to go so out there and to be so different and so outside the box. And especially for them, to make such a 180 from The Good Wife and do something that was so funny and weird was really exciting to me. I think I'm drawn to the weird and the different. When the series begins, Laurel is a bit frustrated with the way things are going in her life. She's trying to cover it as well as she can, but she essentially has had many, many failed attempts to make a documentary. So at the beginning of the show, we see her visiting her family in DC, and she slowly gets roped into coming to DC and working for her brother so that she can make some money to hopefully complete a documentary. And of course, things go very awry along the way. Something weird is happening.
Danny Pino, that was another difficult role to cast. You needed someone who had the stature of a senator, whom you could believe would be her brother, that there would be that chemistry. And he brought such humor and warmth and lightness and intelligence to the role.
We had him come in just as a meeting, and he, his awareness of politics and his intelligence came through, and I was just worried, oh God, this guy's a little just cerebral and quiet. And then he went ahead and read the part for us, and he was explosive.
In the script, before you even read one line of dialogue, Luke is introduced as a man of appetites. And I think that's pretty accurate. He's an intelligent person. He's a senator from Maryland. He starts off as the majority whip, Democrat. He is from a political family. His father was a senator before him, but Luke has his own voice, and so he tries to keep his father at arm's length.
He is someone who knows how to work the political system, and to our mind, he's the hero because it's the kind of politics that we think the country needs.
This is a small move you're gonna regret. Brett will have more power and it'll just hurt the next Brett.
I'm Gareth Ritter, Legislative Director for Senator Wheatus.
Aaron Tveit plays Gareth, and he came in and read, and he was spectacular and a real charming presence. And then we saw
Grease Live, and of course, this isn't a part that involves singing and dancing, but the charisma of a song and dance man is a part of this guy, and he absolutely has that.
He's a very smart guy, and he doesn't, I'm not afraid to let other people know how smart I am, which is a lot of fun.
I wrote a number on a piece of paper.
Number that you faked.
To see if you'd steal it. That's all. You didn't have to steal it.
You kind of see Gareth, even though he's only legislative director, he kind of is able to put into action the things that that he wants to do and he can enact, and he kind of gets to, I think, pull one over on the senator because the senator basically just signs whatever he puts in front of him.
There's supposed to be some backbiting and battling between him and Laurel, and yet obviously there's this real chemistry and affection they can't resist.
I think I really appreciate and I'm really drawn to Laurel's passion and how smart she is, and even though we kind of, especially in the beginning, are seemingly on two sides of this thing, I think as the show goes forward, you see in a lot of ways how similar they are, even in their differences. But also there's a wit and a banter and a sarcasm back and forth that you don't find with a lot of people. And I think these two people, being as smart as they are, that's something that just instantly brings them together.
There's a lot of humanity in the main relationships. There's amazing chemistry between Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing Laurel and Aaron Tveit playing Gareth. And then with Laurel and her brother, this Senator Luke Healy, who's played by Danny Pino. We haven't seen kind of chemistry like that since we started with The Good Wife.
Tony Shalhoub plays Red Wheatus, and I will say that there is not a single thing that Tony Shalhoub touches that he doesn't make funnier.
Take his pencil, try to break it. Take a whole stack of pencils. Yeah. That's how strong we are.
Yeah, I mean, we just sometimes just write it dramatically and know that it'll find a turn of phrase or an italicized word and make us laugh. He plays Red Wheatus, who is this conservative senator who's a drunkard, sleeps on his couch all day. He's just a real slob. And then what happens when he's infected is he turns completely 180 degrees around, becomes one of the most activist senators. He is someone who will not tolerate compromise.
Why are the Democrats being so difficult?
You know the cameras are off, right?
Well, my character, Red Wheatus, is just a blast to play. I feel like almost every scene that they're giving me really reveals more and more about Red. I'm learning more about him every episode. This is not a casual character. Red Wheatus, cuts right into the red meat very, very quickly, and he does not suffer fools. Let's do this. Let's make history.
How may I help you, Rochelle? Dodier?
Nikki James plays Rochelle. This is an actress who we worked with on Good Wife. Rochelle is someone whose dad dies through this bug invasion. And she's someone who brings in the medical information, but she also is someone who befriends Laurel. Laurel comes back to town and finds all her friends from DC have changed. So it's really someone who she befriends who is new.
Good night, Laurel. So Rochelle is a resident. She's a doctor, so she's about science, and she's about facts, and she's about not jumping to conclusions, taking all the information she's getting, even the stuff that feels odd, and trying to fit it into her sort of existing understanding of the world. So it takes a little while for Rochelle to get fully on board with the strangeness of what's happening in this world.
Bugs don't do that, do they?
I've never seen it.
Do you think these bugs might be from...
Don't say it. What's really fun about her is that I'm being paired with this character who is super smart, but sort of a savant. And it's uncomfortable for her to be sort of pushed by Gustav, who's this, strange, kind of quirky guy who somehow has all this information.
Gustav. Give him a chance.
Gustav is the wild card in the deck. I mean, you could say that about Tony Shalhoub too, but he is played by Ray Gill. He is someone who has conspiracy theories left and right. What we told Ray Gill, which is the way he's playing it, which is this is a guy who has 100% conspiracy theory and 10% of the time he's right.
Don't turn around. I said don't turn around. I think one of the greatest things in the script when I read it was that it says, I read a lot. People question his knowledge base, and he says, I read a lot. And I think that's fantastic, especially in a society that is kind of devaluing education and devaluing critical thought. So I think he's a fantastic personification of where I think things should be heading, because knowledge is power and learning is very important. Can you push a touch superior and rostrally to the ventricle?
Have you worked with a CAT scan before?
No, but I read a lot. May I? You can't really find the truth unless you're willing to take risk, and risk being wrong. I think he cares about his friends, cares about people, he cares about the world, and cares about society at large. And I think that's kind of the foundation for his intellectual prowess and for his eccentric, out-of-the-box, unconventional self.
It's the cherry blossoms. Get him out now. That's why he brought you the flowers.
I come in episode 2, and I'm more of a very quiet, still fiercely intelligent, but more of a dowdy senator who's more of a help to Luke Healy, who plays the whip. And then something happens to me, and I get infected, and I become much more liberal, much more outspoken, much more power hungry, and much more bizarre.
That's how strong I am!
I'm Anthony Onofrio, FBI Criminal Division. Do you have a minute?
I play Anthony Onofrio, and I'm a love interest. The third wheel of a triangle.
Hi.
Hey.
I come to Laurel's office, and I'm looking for information regarding something that I don't want to give away, but something has happened which inevitably involves the FBI, and I come to her office looking for her to answer some questions. He doesn't take anything too seriously, but he can take charge when necessary, and I think he applies that to his love life as well.
I've been wanting to do that for a week now.
Ow. The show's held together by a few running stories and then a serialized story that goes over all 13 episodes.
It's a very odd tone. And so we were fortunate in that we got actors who were nimble enough to play all those different colors.